Hey,
Darling girl,
how are you?
we're back.
Oh my God, it's been so long
It really has.
because I got sick and we were supposed to record last week and I said, I can't.
You know what's funny though? Like I was hyped to come here today.
Me too. Oh my God.
Because it's
on
been...
on my walk here, I was like grinning ear to ear and everybody walking past me was like, what is going on with her?
No, my Uber driver probably thought I was going to kill him. I was like, who's this grinning maniac in the back of my car? Not listening to any music, mind you.
I also think that's why I decided to wear makeup today because this is like my first social outing in over a week.
Yeah.
And I just felt like looking my best.
Well, we discussed this when we walked in, but for those of you who aren't watching, Carey is sporting a bold red lip.
It's not a red lip. It's like a pinky mauve kind of lip.
It's a mauve.
Yeah, it's a mauve.
Actually, if I could go out on a limb here, I'd say it's almost a beat.
Oh.
I read an Architectural Digest Instagram post that was 5 words long. So that's an article.
Yeah, that's a novel.
And it claimed that beat is the new neutral. So chew on that.
I will chew on that. I don't necessarily disagree because, to be honest, this is like my most neutral palette. Like, this is kind of like my neutral palette where it's like I have like a cream sweater, a jean jacket, this mauve lip. And like,
yeah, walk them through it.
Yeah, that's just sort of a get ready with me. I wanted to have like a classic fall look today, so that's what I went with.
Yeah, you know I love your oversized denim coat.
Thank you.
It's one of my favorite attributes of yours.
And I really wanted to wear it while we recorded, not thinking that about, of course, the lights.
Yeah, well, now that we have this compendium of videos of us, I'm realizing that I kind of look the same in all of them. Like, it's very cartoon character syndrome.
For the first recording, I was like I'm gonna give off the vibe that I don't need to care about this. Like, I don't need to, whatever, just because we're on camera doesn't mean I'm gonna dress any differently. Now, like, I'm putting a lot of thought into what I'm wearing every day.
We literally have reverse trajectories where I showed up the first day and I said, hire me for any job. I was in a smart wool sweater, slacks even, and a cute little pair of shoes, fresh face of makeup. Mm-hmm. And today I've chosen to show up like I have COVID.
You look cute, I think.
Really?
I like that sweatshirt.
Thank you.
I wasn't going to make fun of you for that.
Okay. Well, I was prepping myself just in case.
I love embroidering and like little cute little things like that. Like, I have my pineapple shirt. I
was hoping that you were going to bring up the embroidery because I actually have a funny story about this embroidery.
Okay, can you describe it for the listeners?
Yes. So for those who are listening, I'm wearing a black sweatshirt with a like burrito taco embroidered on my left breast.
Where it should be.
Where the heart right is. Over my heart.
Yeah.
And I wear this all the time. Like, it's kind of like it's my work sweatshirt. It's my life sweatshirt. It's just like one of the go-to crew necks that I have. I brought it to Mexico City. And I was like walking around and someone who I like went to a restaurant and the person who was giving us the check like commented on it. And first of all, to wear a sweatshirt with a burrito taco on it in Mexico City, like, you have to understand that's so humiliating. Yeah. That's like wearing a shirt in Italy that says like, that's amore.
Yeah.
Or like an I Heart NY shirt in New York.
Yes.
So this works everywhere besides Mexico City. Just quick tip for the listeners.
Yeah, it's like you got it for the trip. Yeah. Like, so they're like, okay.
Prove it. Yeah, I was like, I love the food and culture here.
That's so what did they say about it? Do you know?
I think they rolled their eyes and like probably, spat near on my food.
Yeah,
no
probably.
Worries.
Yeah, no worries.
No worries at all.
No, you probably deserve it, honestly.
I was going to say all part of the furniture at that point.
Yeah, that is funny. Well, I think it totally works for our podcast recording.
Likewise. So. Yeah. Our visual and auditory medium. That is our pod.
You guys can zoom in really, really close if you want to see.
Yeah. And shout out our 2 new subscribers, you and me, to our channel.
Yeah, but also we had 4 yesterday and now we have 11.
We did. Our marketing call worked.
It worked. I think we just need to keep asking people and begging them.
I really like, can you tell everyone what you did on your stories today to get people to like our reel?
I posted a close friend story with the meme of Gru with a gun and said, please like my story. Please like my reel.
And guess what? I think some people folled suit.
Some people did see that and say, I'll throw her a bone because she's been going through a lot.
She seems like she's really working through something, in which case, yeah, here's a like.
Honestly, more people should have taken pity, but it's fine. We'll get more and more people.
Hey, you know how they say like all press is good press or something?
They do say that.
All likes are, even if it's a pity like,
right,
is a good like.
And there's no such thing as an overnight success.
So true. We're working
Except
our
for
way.
us when we have that happen.
Yeah. Except for the Megyn Kelly knocker clip. There is still a night to go before we can call ourselves an overnight success.
Yeah. There's one night.
I have high hopes.
Yeah. Well, good to be back.
It's great to be back.
It's been, I guess, 2 weeks or 3.
So long that the seasons have like actually changed.
Yeah, they did change.
It's winter out.
And I'm suddenly like, and my reverse sad is kicking in and I'm having an amazing time.
I was going to say, we've discussed reverse sad. This is your season.
This is my time.
Yeah.
The crisp air is giving me such inspiration for like the new life that I'm going to create for myself.
And for me, the crisp air is giving me cold sores. So,
which is also an experience you can have.
It is sad though. Like I also feel my most at home in fall, not winter. Winter's scary and sad.
Yeah.
But fall is when like all of my orifices choose to scab over.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, but I guess it's kind of like, you know, you can't have all nice things all at once. You have to be tempered a little bit.
I think it's like the classic sort of lesson of fall, which is that sometimes things that are gross can also be things that are cool, like, right? Like dying leaves.
Precisely.
That's kind of nasty when you think about it, but then you look at them and you're like, actually, they're beautiful.
Sure. Yeah, there's beauty in death.
So
some might look at the
your
scab under my nose and say, that's what a crimson red that is.
Yeah, they might note the different textures and colors.
Sure. What a landscape you've produced. What magical topography that your face has given us.
That's probably what they'd say. Yeah.
I do be having magical topography to the tune of eczema and cold sores.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's not good for the skin.
No, certainly not. This is the season where, you remember when people were like, ooh, slugging. Remember the whole slugging trend?
No.
Oh, it was basically like a TikTok trend of people like going to bed covered in Vaseline so they'd wake up like baby-faced. Baby, I've been slugging.
Oh yeah, you've been slugging since birth.
Oh my! When you have skin like this, you have no choice but to wear an Aquaphor mask before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Like I'm waking up in the morning with my full pillow stuck to my face.
Well, and it's true too because I like this is so boring. But
no, nothing's boring. You say.
Thank you. Wow, that's really nice. That. Have I told you about my AC unit? I probably have.
Oh, no, you haven't.
Well, it has a heat pump, which has been really amazing for me.
What do you mean by that?
Like
it can do both?
It can do both.
It's verse?
Yeah, it's verse. Except for it doesn't work like when it gets to be under 41 degrees outside, like the heat pump won't work.
Okay, so like when you would need heat.
but I need it now.
Right.
So it is like, because I live on the ground floor and
Yes.
gets cold down there. And so it's been literally so amazing because my room is such cozy vibes when I have my heat pump on.
You really have curated, I guess like when I went I've only seen it in like the background of your Instagram stories as like for a while.
That's so classic, yeah.
Well, I spent a lot of time in your living room, but I feel like I never really ventured into your.
Well, also like that's literally how everyone knows me. Like I know so few people that like most people know me just from like the content that they see of my Instagram stories.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, girl.
Get it.
But yeah, I mean, I don't like bring people down to my room a lot unless we're, kissing.
Or being directed outside.
To my room,
which is what where I was being directed.
Yeah.
But yeah, my favorite part of your bedroom, if I may,
please,
is your mantle that is filled with homeopathic pills.
Yeah, it's just different.
You're like, that's my echinacea.
That's my different prescription bottles and my vitamins and my otherwise Eastern medicine.
No, it's like an old school pharmacy down there.
Yeah, it's an apothecary for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, your room can say a lot about you. But what I was going to say is that having the heat pump on, it like you're done for internally. Like you might as well be a Sahara.
No, I mean, I am in a pre-war apartment, so we have radiators that just turn on whenever they damn please. Mm-hmm. And I think our building has coded them to believe that 60 degrees is winter. So our apartment right now is like 97 degrees Fahrenheit.
That is so crazy.
And the driest air, like to the point where you can only take like little sips of breath in, else it will like actually scour your throat.
Yeah, no, it's the equivalent of like eating a Popeye's biscuit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Or like a Nature Valley bar, like swallowing one whole.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh.
Yeah.
But I love fall and I'm so excited and I'm so happy for these few weeks that we have of pristine weather before it's time for me to once again go inside.
Yes, sure. Of
for
course.
Many months.
I'm so excited to reveal my library of turtlenecks. They've been on ice for a while.
Yeah.
They've been saying, choose me.
Pick me, love me.
Pick me, love me.
Yeah.
And I love all of them equally, of course.
For sure.
Can't choose. I was going to wear one today, but then, of course, opted for burrito taco.
I'm wearing one.
I know you are.
I wanted to go for like a Princess Diana type look.
Oh,
today.
big time.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping that you would say something along those lines, but it's okay.
I shouted at you about your bold red lip.
That's
like
true.
17 times.
That is true. You're right.
And I also showered you with love about the denim you're wearing.
Actually,
you're
yeah,
sporting
you did.
my favorite outfit. I just didn't call you Princess Di.
You just didn't call me beautiful princess, deserving of so much better from the world.
So it's almost like you didn't even see me.
Yeah.
Yeah. To have your friends see through you like that, I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I think we'll get through it.
We will. We always do.
We got through the last week of not recording or seeing each other.
We got through Scrunchy Gate.
We got through Scrunchy Gate.
And France. We've been through a lot.
Yeah. We haven't been through me going away in a couple weekends.
I know. I've been keeping tabs on that. To Richmond.
to Richmond, and I just booked my flight. So it's actually happening.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I can't convince you otherwise.
It's happening and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Wait, did you find a date on a Greyhound bus for your wedding?
No, I don't have a +1, so
it's better that way.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. Gonna tear up that open bar and dance floor.
I haven't had enough time alone recently, so it'll be really nice to spend time with myself.
Yeah, agreed. Alone on a dance floor, is there a more magical place to be?
I don't think so. I think I'll find my higher self.
People are like, is she having a seizure?
People are like, is this like a Patrick Swayze kind of ghost moment?
It's like you communing with spirits in the middle of the dance floor.
Honestly, not out of the realm of possibility at this point.
No, I think that would be a blessing
and
to all watching.
Topical for our podcast today.
I know. Welcome to Spooky Floundering, folks. Pause for, I guess, something. I don't.
Pause for something.
Pause for someone cheering somewhere.
Everybody loves spooky season.
It's true.
It's never going to get old.
And one person, my friend Martha, submitted the idea that we should do a spooky episode. So
shout out Martha.
Shout out Marty.
We love her.
She's been riding with us from the very
day
beginning.
One. Yeah.
We've talked about this, but if and when we do merch for our loyalists, Martha Harding's getting a hat.
That says.
And my mom is getting a hat too.
That just have Floundering on it?
The few, the proud, the followers.
I'll give one to my mom, but it'll be like a gag gift.
Like a white elephant gag
It's
gift.
like to show you how much I disrespect you. Like, here's
Merry Christmas, Mom. You bitch.
Here's my one life's accomplishment.
Oh, God.
It's fine.
It's rich.
What is?
Well, I don't know. I was just saying it's rich.
We're going to be rich after we have our merch.
So true. So true.
But yeah, we're doing a spooky episode. So
buckle up.
I wish we could have a spooky version of our like intro music.
Oh,
we should ask
our man.
He's probably not busy.
No, he's probably lost our number by now.
Yeah.
Blocked us.
We're blocked.
Etc.
No, he views my stories sometimes.
Yeah, likewise.
I keep tabs.
Not liking them though.
No, he's not engaging.
I'm just saying it's so easy to press a thumb to a heart.
Actually, it's to the point where it's like you're trying to send a message by not.
Seriously.
But then it's like
the silence is deafening.
The people who do are sending a message that we have something.
There's a cosmic connection
We
there.
have a cosmic connection.
They're like, actually, shit, that was a mistake. I'm sorry. These big old thumbs of mine.
Oops,
LMAO.
God. Phones are so
I
like
hate when that happens.
glitchy these days.
Oh, yikes. Well, hey, if it was a pity like, we'll take it. And you'll get a hat, probably, or a pin.
Yeah.
Or a pen.
Pin or a pen.
Pin or pen, you choose.
Well, you don't get to choose. We send you one at random.
Yeah.
You can
it's
request,
my slip of
but
the
it's-
thumb. Yeah, whichever
yeah.
one my thumb lands on.
Yeah.
I or E is what you'll get.
I wonder if we'll ever talk about something good on this podcast.
Yeah, no, I'm asking myself the same question every time we sit down.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Like, it actually kind of reminds me of not remember because this currently happens. Like getting into an argument with someone and saying the worst thing out loud and then going home and being like, fuck, like those are all of the points that I should have made.
Oh, like, wait, like not remembering to say like,
or just like
things?
flubbing it when you're in person and then going home and being like, well, here's my 8-part argument that absolutely would have slaughtered.
Yeah. This monologue that I've also probably already practiced, like, let's be real, because I anticipated this argument.
Yes. And for us, I'll take a note doc that's like, here's, 18 pages worth of witty Jungian analysis. And then I'll get here and I'll be like, tits and poop and my friend Carey.
Yeah, all coherence kind of goes out the window as soon as we kind of enter this space.
Sure.
That's the point.
That's the point, baby.
Yeah.
That's why they pay us in pity likes,
I guess.
And that's all.
And negative dollars. It's okay.
That's why they pay us. It'd be cool to get paid in like a worthless form of money, like I don't know, something that could become a lot later.
Oh, sure. Yeah, like on Survivor, they tried out a season where they had this thing called fire tokens. Nobody liked that idea. But if I had a fire token, I could probably sell it.
Yeah, it'd be like all the people who like had a ton of Bitcoin and then were like, I can buy 12 homes.
Right.
I want that.
I wish I could have gotten in on that.
Me too. But I don't know how to access
I'm so stupid.
Capital.
Yeah, no, I'm desperately stupid.
Me too.
Should we do flip and flop?
Let's do flip and flop before we...
Flip or flop. I don't know why I said flip and flop.
Well, of course, because we have to choose.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Can you introduce a segment?
I'll introduce a segment. So, as everyone knows, Carey and I spend a decent amount of time apart, which is always bad. But within the period apart, we acknowledge that life moves forward. And sometimes there are highs, which we call flips, and lows, which we call flops. And when we come together in these auspicious recording sessions, we like to share a flip or a flop that we've experienced. Carey, would you like to go first?
Sure.
Hey, whoa.
I actually did.
Yeah, sure. Holy hell. Please don't yell at me
for it to come out like that.
Don't yell at me like that ever again.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Whoa.
I didn't mean for it to come out like that. I'm getting used to talking again because, okay, so I'm going to do a flip.
Yes.
But I just, for full transparency, like of the flip or flops that we have done of this podcast, this is like the most cut and dry, clear as day. My time was a flop.
Yes, of course.
And it's because I was sick, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there were other things too that happened, but I'll keep those to myself. But I am going to do a flip because I just wanted to find the silver lining in all of this.
Oh, darling.
So anyway, I got really sick, and I never know, like, I actually have realized that I desperately need somebody to take care of me. Like I'm not okay. And anyway, I was like kind of depressed about not having someone to take care of me. And then also, like, when you're sick as a kid, like your mom takes care of you. And so you don't think about like what medicine you might need.
Sure.
So I just like didn't really know what to do. And I didn't have any medicine really. So I just kind of didn't take any except for Advil. I basically was just chugging hot tea and washing some Advil down there with it. But it was nice because I was drinking so much tea. Like we basically have like a sexual relationship now, me and tea. But I was drinking this one brand that, how like sick brands, like cough drops and like tea and stuff, they have decided that they're also going to dispense wisdom.
Oh my, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What's your tea brand?
Yogi.
Okay. Same.
Okay.
And I had a feeling this would be the brand because keep going.
Well, I just was basically going to say that my flip is that every time I drank some tea, I got a nice little like Chinese proverb.
Yeah.
And it was honestly making me feel better sometimes.
Yep.
Which is surprising because like the halls cough drops have like, they have more like motivational quotes.
It's like, you can do it.
Yeah. And I'm kind of like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I don't want to be motivated in this state. I want to be lulled.
I want to be like connected to all that is.
Yeah, of course.
And that is what these tea bags were doing for me.
I'm so happy that it's yogi tea that you've chosen. First of all, what's your flavor?
Well, so actually this throws it all the way back to last year when I was going through a very difficult time, and my sister sent me just like a huge care package of like gummy bears and tea and just like a bunch of stuff. And I hadn't drank all the tea that she had sent me because it was just like so much, but it was ginger, mango ginger, and something else, peach ginger or something.
And these are all Yogi brand.
Yeah.
They have a great one called, I think it's called Throat Ease. They have like a whole body series. Right now I'm on Stomach Ease for obvious reasons.
Oh, amazing.
But their Throat Ease one is also delicious if you ever find your throat revolting again.
Yeah, I really should have just like placed an Amazon order, but I kept thinking the next day I'll be fine. And then it was like 9 days later and I was still sick.
Wait, so what are some of your favorite inspirational quotes?
So I took a picture of one just to kind of have, of course now I'm like, where is it? Oh, here it is.
They're so damn cute.
Uncage your heart, free your heart, let it be wild.
Whoa.
I'm like, okay.
Oh my God, that's infinitely wise.
Okay, also, the unknown is where all outcomes are possible. Enter it with grace.
Okay, our last episode.
And I was like, yeah, you're so right about the unknown and that I should uncage my heart.
Yeah. Wow. I feel like those two are for you specifically.
Yeah, I think so.
I get a lot of platitudes, which is totally fine.
Like what kind of platitudes?
Today I got, because I had a feeling that you would be bringing this up. So I did treat myself as
you had a feeling from the note that I put in the doc.
Yeah, from the Google Doc we've been adding to. Today mine was compassion is your greatest strength.
Which is so true.
I think I wanted to maybe be told, I think I wanted to be given an action, like a to-do.
Yeah.
Like uncage your art.
Uncage your art.
Which
even.
I actually do that too. That's so actionable. You know what I mean?
That's so true.
What was the other one?
The unknown is where all things are possible. Enter it with grace.
Enter it. Like it's giving you an instruction.
And
mine
Lord
is just
knows.
being told I am something.
Right.
Which of course, words of affirmation, my greatest love language.
And that is like the most important. Like the I am, it's all that matters. You don't even need to do anything.
Of course.
But I see what you're saying though.
Yeah. But I wonder I genuinely wonder like whose job that is to be like curating these. What a fantastic job. And I wonder if they vary based on the tea that you have.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too.
You know, like maybe one that's more quintessentially sick tea is going to be a little bit more like, hey, nurture yourself, sister.
Or like hard times make us stronger.
Okay, hire us.
Okay, hire us now.
Hire us.
At Yogi Tea sponsor.
Oh, I mean, okay. Olipop and what's the other one? Poppy. Of course, we still have those guys in the bag.
Yeah.
Like I'm still kind of like greasing their wheels, sending them some DMs, inquiring. So we'll keep those on ice. But I think that Yogi Teas are good. I think that's our North Star. And
the tea itself is so good.
Oh, and I'm such a tea hound.
I mean, now I am. I wasn't before, but now this is, again, now I'm just saying boring things about my apartment. But basically, in my apartment, I live on the ground floor, but then we have the first floor and the kitchen is on the first floor.
What's that called? It's called like ranch style or something when that happens.
Oh.
When you
sleep below the kitchen?
Something like that.
That's so interesting.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay, well.
We can look it up. And if I'm wrong, please correct me.
But anyway, when I go to sleep, like it's not easy for me to like get up, go to the kitchen, and you can't just grab tea. Like you're going upstairs, the whole thing. So I was filling up my like big thermos with just like hot tea. And then I would be drinking like 5 cups before I went to sleep. Yeah.
In this type of weather too, I think we've talked about like my distaste for water, just like nothing more unappealing to me than like a glass of room temp water.
Yeah.
Give me something to live for. In the winter, it's only tea. Like I will drink tea at the gym. I won't do that. That actually sounds crazy. Scary, but I would rather do that than drink water.
My dad used to like drink black coffee on the elliptical.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's like a psychotic thing to do.
But that's how he rose to where he is today.
That's how he became a boss babe.
A boss babe, a CEO. I'm sorry, pardon me, a boss babe.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, I just wanted to shout that out because it actually genuinely did make my experience better when I was sick. And I also have, my mom gave me this like little calendar of like, it's called Wisdom of the East.
oh,
And every like day, it's like you pull off the day and it's like the next day has a little thing, similar thing.
Yeah.
So I've just been getting a lot of like Eastern wisdom recently, and it's been
I
nice.
love that.
Yeah.
I forget what the psychological principle is. If it's not, I want to say it's called the Barnum effect, but if it's not, then stop yelling at me.
The Barnum effect, ranch style,
Yeah.
all things that Isabelle.
I'm a Renaissance woman. I collect these little facts for my friends. But I think it's when like platitudes speak to us.
Oh,
Like it's the
I love
reason
that.
why we really love horoscopes and or
like Instagram quote cards.
exactly, because we can always find like, I think it's because we have I was going to say like a self-centered worldview. We kind of do, but we can find ourselves in things that are meant to be kind of like broadly applicable to most people.
Yeah.
So like, for example, you could take out like a horoscope thing and probably put like Leo over any of them. And if I saw that my sign was attached to it, I'd be like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't matter. It's
For
just
sure.
I seeing an identifier and then like internalizing that as fact.
Yeah. Like when they said uncage your heart, I was like, they know that I've had my heart locked up
It's clawing.
and
It's-
it desperately wants to be free
Yeah.
and
Ugh,
be wild.
it does want to be wild. Dang. I want to see that wild heart.
Yeah. So next, look out because I'm just going to be uncaging my heart this season. So get ready.
Yeah. Hide your trash, put it in bear bags, kind of do whatever you need to do to make sure that Carey doesn't come ravage your campsite.
Yeah. I'm a danger to anyone who's in the wild out there. 'Cause,
Absolute.
You know how people were like man or bear. Now it's like man,
Man, bear,
bear,
Carey.
or me. And people are probably picking the bear still.
Def.
Okay. Do you want to do yours?
Sure. I also have a flip. I feel like
Yay.
I've been bringing a lot of flop energy in the flips or flops recently, and I
Okay.
was tempted to flop again, but I'm bringing
Because I thought your original thing was a flop.
it was, and then I edited it
Okay.
without track changes.
I'm going to do a flop next week.
Me too.
I've already decided.
Of course. Yeah. Because we need to balance the ledger.
Yeah.
And we can't have people thinking that this is like an optimistic
Well,
show.
and I've been doing too much like trying to prove a point by having a really bad time, but choosing a flip.
Yeah.
And I need to just be honest with people.
Yeah, of course.
But this week it was like too desperate and dire. Like I had to actually do a flip. Otherwise it would just be me talking about my different symptoms that I was having.
Right. Which for me personally, love.
And
like
we'll-
I could listen
for
to
the Patreon, I can tell you guys like the exact color of my snot and it'll be great.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll kind of do a side by side of like different WebMD
Mhm.
printouts.
I'll give you all the receipts for everything I ordered from DoorDash every single day. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one. And our school should too.
Great.
Okay. My flip is the city of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I told
Say
you
more.
I think I told you I traveled for my final wedding of the season. Which transparently I was dreading. Like at this point in the year, like put me in my crusty cozies
Mhm.
and
Put me in my crusty cozies.
put me in my crusty cozies. Don't make me beg. And like, do you see how crusty cozy I am right now?
You look great. I like your socks, by the way.
Thank you. With the little frilly top.
I love those. They're so cute.
They're a gift from, say it with me, Martha Harding. Okay, erasing that. Sorry, Martha. I'm so sorry.
I thought we were doing like the Kristen Wiig. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Oh God. Okay, I'm so sorry to my friend Martha Harbling. Okay, City of Pittsburgh was dreading the trip because
Sure.
I just want to be in my crusty cozies. And I've also just been to like enough weddings at this point where I'm like, let's wrap it up, try again next year. And anyway, Pittsburgh, what a city. Everyone is a homeowner. I'm literally not exaggerating. 12-year-olds are walking around with property. And if they're not owning, they are renting for, I'm not exaggerating, $100 a month. And these are gorgeous colonial homes.
Yeah, because it's Pittsburgh.
Exactly. But that's a beautiful thing. And if you can get everyone to rally around one place, home is wherever you are.
Home is where the uncaged heart is.
Home is where the uncaged unknown heart is.
Yeah.
So anyway, first reaction was, okay, everyone has assets for days to the tune of homes.
Mm-hmm.
How fascinating. Second observation, all of the Uber drivers are women.
Oh.
I'm not exaggerating. We Ubered around a lot. That's maybe a flop within Pittsburgh, is like public transportation, not really a thing. Every single Uber we called a woman, with the exception of 2, and the 2 men were silent, which is my favorite type of man.
Yeah.
And these women were like chatty, but they also knew how to give the Uber space. We've talked about this. The art of a good Uber driver, like, again, you can't teach that.
Yeah.
That's something ingrained in your DNA.
No, you have to have the touch.
You have to have the touch. And boy, did they have the touch. They were just like excited to show us the city. They gave us really good recommendations for places to eat.
Oh my God.
Their cars smelled clean and good.
Wow.
I'll say that. I came here after an Uber drive. I still smell like the Febreze that man was pumping through his vents.
Huh.
So anyway, Uber driver, second reaction. The third is that we went to the wedding. It was a very DIY wedding. The dad cooked the entire meal.
Oh my God.
Lasagna for 130 people. It was so yummy.
Like father of the bride?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so cute.
Which was so cute. I'd never seen that. Like, I'd never seen a family member, like, especially for a wedding that size.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe for like a backyard wedding, it's a potluck, but like this was a big wedding.
Was it at like a venue or was it at their house?
It was at a venue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he brought all the lasagna from home? Or did they?
Trays of lasagna. He brought trays of lasagna and like his body. Like he brought one man for muscle who was helping him serve. And It was delicious. And then lastly, for dessert, instead of a cake, I feel like wedding cake is often like, oh, okay, it's there. And like,
I always forget about it.
People always forget about it.
Yeah.
It's always served at like the time of the night when the dance floor is like popping off.
I know, it's like it's Whitney Houston or it's cake. And I'm like, it's going to be Whitney every time.
Exactly. It's like indigestion or kind of like have the crowd go wild at my body rolls. So instead of cake, they have a tradition in Pittsburgh called the cookie table. And it's kind of like a cookie potluck. Like people will bring cookie recipes that have been in their family for ages and assemble it on this long, like banquet style table. And this one was so cute. Like they had little cards next to them with little stories about the cookies.
Oh my God.
And they were all teeny tiny. So you ended up just like filling up a yummy little plate of.
Wait, is this a tradition of like Pittsburgh weddings or just Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh weddings.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we mentioned it to our women Uber drivers and all of them were like, yeah, babe, like you got to get involved with the Pittsburgh cookie table.
With the Pittsburgh cookie table.
The Peter Piper Pittsburgh cookie table.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love learning about new cultures.
It truly, and Pittsburgh is like, it's its own city.
Yeah.
Like there's a very distinct Pittsburgh accent that kind of sounds like the Baltimore accent.
Yeah, it's mid-Atlantic vibes.
Yes. It's like a mix of a very like metropolitan feeling city, but also like a very hilly city. I don't know. There's just a lot going on.
I feel like the people there would be nice.
They were so excited to have people excited about Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Like I think they just like bleed their city in such a way where if you're there and you're like down to be part of it, they're like, come.
I mean, yeah, you think about the sports teams from Pittsburgh and like those fans are like pretty intense.
Oh my, people were waving their terrible towels at the after party of this wedding. I was like, what are we celebrating?
Towel?
Do you know the Steelers?
Well, I know about them, but
are you aware of their work?
I'm aware of their work.
Their craft?
Vaguely, yeah.
I guess there's a tradition in their stadium of like waving around a yellow towel that they call the terrible towel.
Okay.
The terrible towel came out like every 25 minutes over the course of this weekend.
After they did their vows.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of throwing flowers, we all just waved the yellow towel around.
Yeah, there wasn't a flower girl. She just walked down the aisle.
Shotgunned a beer and wove a towel around. Wove a towel.
Yeah.
Do you wove or waved a towel?
I don't think towels were ever meant to have that done to them. So probably nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
You dry your body with one.
Correct.
And
You don't
that's
wove it. You don't
wove it or wave it.
You don't wove, weave, wove, wov.
That's at least in New York, but in Pittsburgh, you wave it.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's
but
cool.
the past tense, what's up with that?
Waved.
Waved. Certainly not wove.
I don't think wove.
Yeah, couldn't be.
You guys can sound off.
Couldn't be. So anyway, that's my flip.
Okay, I love when something that like starts off as something kind of dreadful ends up being something lovely.
Because I went into this weekend being like, just get through.
And I think that's genuinely like the number of times that I've had that mindset and then I've had like an amazing time.
Yeah.
It really speaks to just like be a Grinch, like be grouchy, be pessimistic, and then have an amazing time.
Keep your heart caged until to the point where it's literally like busting at the seams, and then let
it
heart
rip.
Run. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you have, it's tale as old as time. Like if you have a high expectations, then it's not gonna. Oh,
I'm doing something bold.
Has this ever happened? Probably not.
Wait, poop check? Our favorite segment.
You're good.
Okay, cool. I get the same exact feeling, like we've discussed this, but when someone asks me to do something objectively pleasant, either on short notice, which short notice to me, by the way, is 3 days. That's short notice.
I have a problem with short notice and I have a problem with long notice.
Me too. I have a problem with both.
So, and there's nothing, there's no real way that you can approach me with a plan and have me be okay with it.
No, of course. It's lose-lose. But me being approached with a plan, I will dread it even if there is literally, even if the converse is me staying home, like stitching my own wounds.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't like plans. But every single time I end up going to the plan, I come home and I'm like, that was the best night simply ever.
Yeah. No, and it's like, yeah, I've had that so much. And to the point where like now anytime I go out and do something, it's like I'm forcing myself and reminding myself that I can leave after 10 minutes if I want to. And I never do because I'm always having a good time once I get there.
No, same. But it's like, it's so funny how I've had to baby my brain and my temperament, where it's like, you're going to stay for 15 minutes, you're going to show face.
Yeah.
And then you're going to leave, you're going to Irish exit. No one's going to know you left.
No one's going to know. You can Uber home. You don't have to take the train.
Yep.
You can get something nice. You can
and
get
make
a
an
little
excuse
J on your way home.
like your stomach hurts. People always believe the stomach excuse thing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, all my friends are like, yeah, we know all your excuses and you're full of shit. Like, just stay for 20 minutes.
No, it's, yeah.
Yeah. We have the same, tricks up our sleeves.
Same old tricks.
Same old tricks.
Well, I was just going to say, like, it just makes it really hard to actually be sick because of course, like nobody believed me. Like even today, even just now when you said, you don't sound very sick.
Oh, I know. The second I said it, I was like, I mean, you sound healthy now.
Yeah. No, and I do sound a lot better than I did before.
I wasn't trying to invalidate your sickness.
No, but I think as someone who is constantly looking for reasons to not go to stuff, then when you actually have a real reason,
sure, then
you feel like shit about it because it's real, and you want it to be believed so badly, but you also want all the other times to be believed too.
Of course.
Basically, I just want people to believe me.
Yeah. And we always believe, well, on this podcast, we believe women.
Yeah.
Okay, well, look at us.
Look at us. 2 flips.
2 flips. 2 good flips. Everyone go out and buy yourself a box of yogi tea. Not on us, unfortunately, on you.
Go to Pittsburgh and drink it.
Pittsburgh and drink it. But also share the wisdom that you receive from your tea bags because they tickle me.
Yeah.
They're so heartwarming. And if you're writing those, reach out.
We love you.
We love you so much.
I mean, I assumed they were all written by like Rumi.
Probably. Or Chat.
Ancient Chinese,
right.
Proverb, but
oh God, unfortunately, they probably are really written by Chat if you think about it.
Why is that unfortunate?
Well, sorry, I take that back.
Why are you insulting my best friend?
Of course. Thank you for calling me in.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Anyway, I like our flips.
Me too.
Should we get into the meat and potatoes?
Let's do it.
Okay. So, as we said, welcome to Spooky Floundering. I had a few things that I wanted to discuss with you.
Is this episode going to come out on Halloween?
I think it's going to come out pretty close.
Okay.
But even if it comes out after, I like to kind of like conjure. I think it's important to conjure the spirit until Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's
until the cornucopias
it's a long
take over.
off ramp. I think there's a gradual process between skeleton to cornucopia.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, also just like the cleanup process alone of some of these homes.
And we got to eat the candy.
I mean, there's a lot to get through.
Yeah.
There's a lot to get through. But I wanted to start by seeing if you had any paranormal experiences. You mentioned in a previous episode that you might have seen a ghost in your apartment.
Okay, so I have these things that happen that could just be like visual weirdness.
Like migraines.
No, I know the aura, but it's like, there have been times that feel like I've had where I've seen through the veil, so to speak, but I've never been in a place where it's like the broom is on the other side of the hall or something, like because it got moved by a ghost.
Sure.
So I've never been in that kind of a space before.
And you never you never even like grew up around like spaces that were allegedly haunted or like went to other people's home? Whoa.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh,
if I did, I blocked it out because I was probably scared.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. I feel like I also like projected a lot of scary things onto homes that just weren't haunted at all because I was so afraid of being haunted.
Oh yeah, I was constantly in fear.
Yeah.
That remains a part of my childhood. I was always in fear, but for no real reason. The house that I was living in was like a new build, so there could not have been.
Yeah. It's fun. I would say that like I was so afraid of ghosts and hauntings that I often like projected scary things into spaces that weren't scary, with the exception of 2 homes. First home is the lake house that we go to up in the Adirondacks.
Oh.
And honestly, like, I feel like the Adirondacks is just kind of like brimming with scary things. Like, it's just like a wooded area. There's like a lot of like, you know, probably problematic history that was on Adirondack land. Like, there's a lot of rich history there.
Yeah. And by rich, you mean bloody?
Bloodied. Very bloodied by hands that looked a lot like ours.
That's great.
So anyway, but I feel like I grew up with like some scary stories about the lake that we're on, like, you know, the drowning here and there. There was also a real serial killer, which is different than Paranormal Activity, but there was a real serial killer named Garrow who like murdered in the woods by where this house is.
Oh my God.
Like when my parents were, or when my mom was young.
So, but that implies that there would be,
of course,
unhappy
spirits.
Ghosts. Yeah,
exactly. People who are wronged. So spirits who need to seek vengeance.
Yeah, spirits who have not had a peaceful crossover, who had to make their presence known.
Exactly. We could do an entire episode about Garrow because he's like one of the most like iconic true crime figures, and it was like brought to my attention like, I don't know, within the past 10 years that
I've never heard of him.
Did most of his murdering like 15 minutes away from where this house is.
Oh my God.
So anyway, it's a very pregnant set of woods, if that makes sense.
Yeah. From
a spirit standpoint.
Yeah, that's what they were going to call it in Winnie the Pooh, but then they went with 100 Acre.
The pregnant woods.
The pregnant set of woods.
The pregnant acred woods. So anyway, my cousins, I think we've been over this, but I lived overseas for a bit. And so over the winter, I would come back in the summer, but over the winter, it was just mostly like the family that hadn't moved. And my 2 cousins would spend a lot of time together up in the Adirondacks over the winter. And one winter, they brought out a Ouija board. And of course, they Ouija'd in the bedroom that we normally sleep in without me there. And they were asking it buck wild questions, like, but exactly what you would want to know if you were trying to freak yourself out. Like, who died in this house? How did they die? How old were they? Basically, like, who was murdered here and when? Mm-hmm. And they got like something vague back, like a boy named David died in the 30s. He drowned or something on your lakefront.
That's so a lot of information.
It's a lot of information to get from a Ouija board.
Yeah.
And of course, it was like their favorite story to tell me when I came back, where they were like, yo, this house is like so much more haunted than you think. It's not just Aunt Edith who's roaming the halls. It's like, you know, David.
Yeah, it's David.
It's Drowned David. Drowned David.
That's what they called him.
So anyway, one summer, I'm sleeping in this back room, the same room that was Ouija'd in ages before. And it's one of those rooms where it's like on the tail end of the house. So at night, if all of the lights are off and like the moon is out, you can like see branches moving around. Like it's a creepy kind of aura. And my cousin and I would often battle because we had a queen bed in the room and a cot. Our cousin, who's a really bad sleeper, would sleep on the cot. And then my other cousin and I would always choose, it would like be a battle, like who was going to sleep on the end and who was going to sleep in the middle. Like you wanted to sleep in the middle because you felt protected.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm sleeping on the end one night and I'm in like the sleepy stage right before falling asleep. So I'm like, my eyes are closed, but as I'm falling asleep, I have a vision. And in this vision, like my eyes are open, like it feels like I'm awake. And I look up and there's a guy in a flannel shirt hovering over me.
Stop.
And to the point where like, I wasn't convinced that I was asleep.
Yeah.
And I shriek and I like punch around and like come to and realize like, okay, nothing was there. And of course my cousins were like, what the hell just happened? And I was like calming myself down, but I was like, no worries whatsoever. There was a flannel man standing beside the bed.
Was it Drowned David?
I mean, I have reasons to believe it was.
It probably
Drowned
was.
David.
Because I imagine that he would be wearing some kind of flannel.
And how fitting like that he's going to come for me, the person who wasn't there, conjuring him.
Wait,
all
that's
of those
crazy.
years ago.
That's so scary.
It was such a real, visceral, like I could feel his physical presence like next to me.
Well, also there's a lot of literature about that liminal space between being awake and being asleep.
Yes.
That would suggest that that would be a time to have some kind of a paranormal experience. Yeah.
I also, anyway, I haven't had like too many more experiences like that specifically where it was like, oh, a vision of something that is like absolutely a ghost or a something else right in front of me. That was the only time that's ever happened. But I did listen to a This Young Yin Life episode about like the notion of paranormal. And apparently Jung had all of these theories where he was like, you know, in life, there's mass, there's energy, like there are these like very tangible things. And he was like, I would also put like the psyche as the third realm.
Oh.
Like, so basically what he was saying is like, our minds are really powerful.
Yeah.
And we have the ability to create something in our head. And it's not, it's okay that it doesn't make sense, like, because it doesn't feel like it aligns to something that's like backed in science or math. But he was like, why can't we wrap our heads around the fact that we might be able to produce something physical, like something real based on what we think in our heads?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So so basically like, no, that wasn't an apparition. Like that was a real thing that you conjured.
No, those experiences are like very personal and like, I hate when people try to tell people that they like didn't have like what you saw.
I saw what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw Flannel Man.
And Demi Lovato sees what she sees.
Absolutely.
And she can have her ghost hunting shows if she wants to.
Absolutely. Sorry for talking for 45 minutes on Broken.
No, I liked that. It was honestly really nice.
Okay.
I think that's probably what the listeners would prefer.
Just unbroken psychobabble. Just
you and then me kind of nodding and being like,
dropping a Demi Lovato quote.
Yeah, and then kind of being like, okay,
just
I'm
sprinkle
done.
that on.
I wish I had an experience like that.
It surprises me that you haven't, just because you have the most powerful mind of anyone I know.
Oh my God. Thank you.
The other thing that I thought was really interesting in this podcast episode was the idea that our subconscious is actually its own thing.
Yeah.
Like it's in us, but it's actually its own entity and feeling spirit.
Yeah.
I said the word spirit. I don't think Jung ever used those words, but like the idea that there are all of these different dimensions that we might think exist in our head, but are actually these like very material things that exist outside of us.
Yes. Yeah. That's interesting. The thing about like, the third thing being the psyche, because I never really thought about it in relation to like energy and matter.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
Right.
Because how much, I mean, like talking about like fear, like growing up, thought that every single sound in my house was someone coming to murder me. And like, you couldn't convince me at a point that like, it wasn't that, you know, like it was
100%.
it was more real in my head than it was in reality.
Yes.
But it was it was real to me. So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. You should listen to this episode. There are all these,
I want to.
I think Young grew up in a pretty like charged home, which is how he described it. I think he was Swiss or.
Yeah. And there was like religion stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he has all of these really intense stories about like being in a room and like a table cracking in half, or like, you know, being upstairs and hearing something shatter and coming downstairs and like the blade of a knife being broken into like 3 clean pieces, and like taking it to someone who could fix it. And, you know, him essentially saying like, this had to have been done by someone's hand. Like someone had to have cracked this knife in half.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I feel like the reason why these paranormal things are so like scary to us, is because, I mean, we've talked about this a lot, but like, it's just something that has no clean explanation.
Right.
And the human brain hates that. Like, we hate when we can't be like, oh, you know, I didn't have enough water, which is why I had this weird vision. Like, we want to be able to attach it to things that feel like really concrete and explainable. And Jung was like, actually, this might not have an explanation. And I think that we need to kind of like sit with that. Like, this might just be something that is unexplainable.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because I was thinking about the topic of paranormal activity and like why people seek out those stories. And it just got me thinking, this is shifting gears a little bit, but it got me thinking about like the nature of like American Halloween culture, where it's like, it's kind of just an exaggeration of what we already do all the time, which is like the commodification of fear.
Totally.
And it's interesting to view it as like, these are things that are like unknown, because that's, even though the unknown is where all possibilities are possible.
Of course.
And you should enter it with grace.
Yeah. With our caged hearts.
With our uncaged hearts. You're right that I think like the human instinct is maybe to be like, that's scary. But rather than like getting through that fear and coming out to a place of like curiosity or like openness, I think the American Halloween industrial complex would have you be like, no, stay in the fear, because that's where all the money is or something. Like, we manufacture
or the
these
opposite, which is like the complete like pacification of scary things, like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Yeah. Or the fact that, you know, like these skeletons are like dancing and holding pumpkins. And
okay, but that to me, like, well, I was actually going to talk about this as in this conversation, because I have been noticing like, and I don't know, maybe if this is just like getting older and like nostalgia, but it's just funny to me how like the decorations of Halloween, like bats and like cobwebs and skeletons are like so cute.
Yeah.
Like so cute and nice.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Like I'm looking at a dead bones, like a mock-up of a dead body, essentially.
Yeah, it's like, why does the tarantula have like the watery eyes emoji eyes?
Why is it actually like really curious about my backstory?
Yeah, why is it wearing a top hat? I want to put it on the leash.
Yeah, we're having a conversation.
Around. Yeah, that is fun. Yeah, I didn't even think about like the commodification of fear that way, where it's like, and both are commodifying something about our attention. Like in one of them, it's like, well, we're really drawn to it. You know what I mean? Which is like the spider in the top hat, or, you know, the skeleton, like holding a coffee cup or something silly. And then, the other one is just like, we're going to force you to be in this.
Well, and I don't know why, maybe it's just because like the world has gotten scarier or something, but it feels like it's been like ramped up. Like, I feel like maybe this is just me, but like what they want us to engage in, it's like becoming, it's like less cute, like dress up as like a slutty nurse or like a cute thing. Like it's like more like go to Fright Fest and like scream your face off. And like there was a couple years ago that there was this like it was like a extreme haunted house where it wasn't even like a haunted house. It was like, we will kill you basically. Like you have to sign a waiver just like in case something bad happens to you.
NDAs are being passed
Yeah,
out.
because it was like part of it was like you get buried alive. Like for a little. And that's like
we're going to choke you right. And then right before you actually pass over to the other side, we stop.
Yeah, we stop. But you'll love it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what they want like us to do.
That's so okay. So I was thinking about this too, because in my mind, like I feel like there are like two genders of like households in around Halloween where like there's the cute household, the pumpkin household.
Yeah.
And then there's like the house that always fucking takes it too far.
Where it's like, come into our cauldron and like there's
Death
like
dungeon. Yeah. And it's like werewolves with like melting faces.
No, and I
like,
never went in there.
Oh my God, me either. Except there was this one house where I was growing up. It must have been like some wealthy Republican donor because it was also the house that passed out like the king size Twix bars.
Which you have to stand.
Oh, there's always that one house. I don't care who they voted for.
Yeah.
I am eating your candy. But they had the most horrific setup. Like they like converted their home into like kind of what you're describing, like a hell house.
Where it's like they have like 12 fog machines.
Yeah, like this guy probably like hired all of his analysts to come and be like werewolves chasing children around. But
no, and it's like if you're a grown adult and you're like doing that, not trying to yuck anyone's yum. And I think it's like it's more accepted for like Christmas and stuff, like 'cause it's festive and joyful.
Sure.
But with this, it's like, no, you're sadistic and there's something wrong with you.
If it's Daddy's Little House of Horrors, sorry, like absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like,
if there's somebody that you like, one of your sons is gonna like chase me around the corner. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't want Trip chasing me around with an axe. Thanks. But yeah, this does kind of relate to the top. Like, I think our very first ep back, we talked about just like the fascination with death and like just talking about like, oh, it seems to be like popping up as a theme in all of these different songs. And like, it's kind of like very of the moment to be like obsessed with death. And I do think there's probably a connection with like the horror of the times, like being obsessed with horror that's like ultimately a little low stakes.
Right.
Like Halloween horror is silly low stakes horror. Like it's never been like, for me,
it's
like,
not really my thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely know people who are like, we're fucking going to Fright Fest.
Yeah.
Boys, like saddle up. That has never been.
Have you ever been to like Six Flags
around Halloween?
Yeah.
No.
Because I think they have like a
Fright
which
Fest.
It's like appeals to me in theory, but not in practice.
I remember I've like only gone to one haunted house in like the middle of a hayfield in Maryland with my dad. And I was like probably 13, like I was this size. And I literally have a memory like leaping into his arms and being like, carry me out, carry me out. I cannot walk.
Yeah, we used to do these like haunted hay rides where I was growing up. And it scared the shit out of me because the theme was always like asylum. And it was like these people would like come out of the woods with like, obviously fake, but like axes and whatever it's called, chainsaws and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was overstimulating. And there's an element of it that is fun, but I'm too old for that.
I feel like it was fun when you like were flirting with someone.
Totally.
But I was literally only going with my brothers and my parents.
I was never flirting with anyone.
I was like, I don't want to seek comfort with any of you.
Yeah.
You're gross.
If there was someone to hold me while I shiver, then I would be into this.
If there was someone besides my father to carry me out of here, then maybe there would be something for me here. Yeah, Fright Fest was very flirt-core in high school, and I was not really my bag, to be honest.
It wasn't.
Yeah. But yeah, there is something I'd like to explore that further with you. The like obsession with gore and like the intensified nature of it, especially around this time in our lives where gore is so accessible.
I don't even know if it's like something that is a legitimate like trend, or if it's just like something that I've changed like or noticed over time. But yeah, but I do think you're right. Like a lot of people who are into horror movies talk about how like it's a contained way to experience anxiety where like it's for some reason it like soothes their anxiety to like to go into something like that where, you know, there's like a definitive beginning and end.
That's so interesting. I wonder if there's like crossover between like the horror community and like the thrill seeking community, like the adrenaline junkies, like people who just like do things that are objectively like, well, objectively might not be the right word because people enjoy this stuff, but like base jumping or like free solo, like people who
What's base jumping?
It's when you like you have like a parachute and you basically like jump off the side of a cliff or something.
No, thank you.
Yeah. But like, yeah, the flirting and then like getting away with not dying is definitely like a kink or like it scratches something in people.
Totally.
Yeah.
And again, in theory, I do get it.
Sure. Yeah.
I wish I do like, yeah.
Again, I like my crusty cozies. That's just kind of the way God made me.
I just want to be like, I want to have a pumpkin scented candle.
Yeah.
And have my heat pump on and have my Aquaphor.
Yes.
And
so I'd be curious to probe the school about like what their flavor of spooky is. Like, is it cozy?
Yeah.
Is it cozy spooky that you like? Or is it freaky spooky? And if it's freaky spooky, please tell us why.
Tell us more.
Please. So that we don't pretend like we're Freud and Jung yucking it up.
Did you have like a really scary movie growing up?
Yeah. Well, again, I do not do well with scary things.
Yeah.
Because again,
the things that I think are scary are not the things that are marketed as scary.
Exactly.
Like my big scary thing growing up was I thought that Marilyn Monroe was like a really terrifying, like I just like whatever happened to her, like her death. Like I was like, there was always such an air of like mystery around that.
Oh, dude. Yes. Amelia Earhart. That was the scariest story ever.
Yeah.
I was like, you're telling me that she's still out there, maybe? What do you mean?
What if she was stranded for months and months?
Exactly. And also, there was a big fear of mine too of swimming in an ocean and being like, is Amelia Earhart under me? She's lost at sea, folks.
She's right here.
She literally could be right under me. No one's going to let me know.
That's so funny.
Yeah. See, that's my flavor of like, that's freaky.
Yeah. Well, and that's because the neurodivergent crazy brain.
Because things aren't clicking up there.
It's like, I'm not afraid of sharks. I'm afraid of the body of Amelia Earhart.
Yeah. No, I feel seen by that. So yeah, scary. To that point too, like, even movies that were supposed to be funny, scary, like all of the scary movies 1 through 70.
Haven't seen them.
Those were scary.
Yeah.
Like there was a scene, like a funny Exorcist scene. And I was like, I'm sleeping in between my parents and I'm 16 years old. So that's that.
No, because there was like a Disney Channel original movie, I'm pretty sure. That's like the Tower of Terror movie.
Yeah.
And it's for children. It's rated G, I think. And that was like a movie that told me I shouldn't watch horror movies, or it was so scary to me.
Oh my God, the villains
when there's an elevator involved, it's over.
Oh, I mean,
if there's an old timey like dumbwaiter, it's not.
Yeah, that's someone's gonna get decapitated. Someone's getting decapitated, or it's being like operated by a ghoul. Yeah. I don't fuck with a dumbwaiter.
I don't fuck with a dumbwaiter.
No. What was another example? Oh, Scooby-Doo's. The villains getting unveiled. I would shriek.
Terrifying. Oh, let me tell you something else. I used to play this Barbie game called Detective Barbie. If you know, you know. It was a PC game, and she's like trying to solve a mystery at a carnival.
Yeah.
And the entire game, you're like chasing this hooded figure and like this black hood around this fucking carnival.
I wanted to talk to you about hoods.
Oh my God.
There's something about hoods.
It
freaks me out.
Yeah. But that game scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
But I loved it.
Yep. I'm trying to think of others that really just did not do it for me. Oh my God. The scene in Anastasia where there's like someone gets swallowed.
Oh, I can't recall.
It's a Disney movie, literally meant for ages 3 through 7.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where like 2 people get swallowed by a villain and they're like talking in the stomach. And I'm like, yeah, no, never sleeping again. Therapy forever.
Yeah.
Lobotomy, make me forget all of this immediately. So this is all to say that like my notion of scary probably differs from, the traditional path, with the exception of, I think I told you, I had a friend in middle school who I did anything she did. If she was into emo stuff, I was into emo stuff. The only time where I was like, I'm going to diverge from that path is when she started like maybe huffing glue. Like I was like, maybe
that's
not
where
that.
I draw the line.
Maybe not glue. But we watched a movie called When Darkness Falls at her house once. And it was, of course, her brainchild. Like, and again, no spine, anything that she said went. And it's basically a movie where like there is a demon or a presence that appears when the lights are off. So you have to understand that for 5 years, I slept with all my lights on.
Yeah.
And like that.
And that's reasonable.
No
in my
exceptions. Yeah. Like it wasn't enough to have like a bathroom light or a hallway light on.
Yeah.
Like I was sleeping with like my desk light and my overhead lights on. And guess what? Never saw the demon. So who's laughing?
So who's laughing now?
So who's laughing?
You tricked them.
I did. I also did, just going back to haunted houses, I did live in what was storied to be a haunted house in Singapore.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of experiences.
I know. But it's funny because it's like, you can't tell someone like me that I'm in a haunted house because I assume that even like we've discussed, unhaunted spaces are haunted. But I guess Singapore has a pretty like rich history with the world wars. Like it was just kind of like a very contested territory because it was just in the middle of Southeast Asia and whatever. Anyway, my house was built on a like a weapons disposal, like a really old weapons disposal field. And it was like the first thing that the real estate guy told us, where my dad was like, "You fucking kidding me? Like, do you see her? Like, keep that shit to yourself."
Or maybe talk about like the square footage or something.
But there were definitely like experiences in that house. Like I was home alone once and I heard all of the silverware in our kitchen fall. All of it. Like it was like the most deafening clattering sound. And to the point where like the dogs like were in my bedroom and like went downstairs. Nothing there.
That's crazy.
Another time my dad and I were watching TV, and this like in retrospect sounds less scary, but at the time it was so fucking freaky. Like we were watching Friends or something, and then all of a sudden the TV goes off. And we're like, oh, okay, whatever. Maybe it's like, who knows, power outage. Nothing else in the house goes off. TV comes back on, same channel. We're like, oh, okay. And then out of nowhere, it's like ripping through the channels in really quick succession. And then it goes off again.
Oh.
And it continues like that. Like TV comes on, TV goes off, rips through these channels. So like little things like that where you're just like, I think there's like something a little off.
There's some other like energy here.
There's an energy. There's something present in this house. Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. I recently did a Ouija board, or like I was somewhere where there was a Ouija board and people were like, oh, let's do it. But then like there was literally zero like receptivity in the room.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you do have to buy in a little bit to the idea if you're going to like go ahead and do something like that.
Well, this is why I absolutely buy the like subconscious as its own entity.
Yeah.
Where it's like that, you have to let that exist. And if you are burying it, like, you know, maybe ultimately like the ego trumps the self-conscious or the subconscious or whatever. But like that thing can be up to no good.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I agree. To let to let Drowned Daniel emerge.
If you really want Drowned Daniel to come through, you have to shut up and be open to it.
You have to shut up and put up.
Shut up and put up. That's what I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll let you know. I would like to have a spiritual I've had like spiritual paranormal experiences, but not like ghost vibes. Like I've gotten random messages that only like I couldn't have said that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And are you, is
like
it
psychic stuff?
Yeah. Are you hearing it in real time, or is it something that you'll be like, oh, well, I know that, like something you're reciting back that you might have heard, but don't like have an active memory of hearing?
Sometimes I literally hear it like in my head.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not my, like, I can separate that from a thought. Like,
Sure.
there's different, it's like a different tone. It's like a different voice entirely.
Yep.
So that to me is like, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's my subconscious or some shit. But
yeah, it's something.
But yeah. And then I've also had like psychic experiences where I've like known what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
You have a very powerful brain.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's funny because I feel like you are the giver of, like, I'm the receiver of a lot of these things.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean? Like, and who knows, maybe it has a lot to do with like, maybe you have a more like formed self-concept. I don't know. I'm trying to understand like what the connection is, but I receive a lot of these like kind of
that's cool
little hauntings. And I think that you might give them, if that makes sense.
Also, should we?
Oh my God. Okay, wait. Quick round robin.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be. Okay. So our round robin, folks, we're gonna do quick, rapid succession, the best Halloween costume you've ever had, and your favorite Halloween candy. Okay. Carey, you go first.
So I can't remember a lot of my Halloween costumes, and I don't think I've really ever had a really, really amazing one, except for, I think I was like in first or second grade, I went as Britney Spears, and I got like a headset thing, and like I used that all the time. Like it was just like amazing to have. And I wore like bell bottom, like pink pants and like, I don't know, some top. And I felt like a true pop star.
Hell yeah.
I love costumes that are like that are like cute and fun.
Well, also like costume with a prop, like nothing will make me more powerful than like wielding a microphone.
Yeah.
Even if it's in costume.
It's huge. What's yours?
So I had to rack my brain because I'm famously like not that great at Halloween.
I'm so bad at Halloween.
But I took a science class or whatever. I was like in whatever science class you're in 5th grade. And one of our projects was dressing up as an element. And I was assigned titanium, but I like fully didn't really understand the assignment. So
comes as the Tin Man.
I dressed up as the periodic table, like block. Like I put on a cardboard box.
No.
And I was TI atomic number 22. And I like was the atomic number of titanium.
Oh, but that's kind of cute.
And so anyway, I got such great reception during periodic table day that I repeated that for my Halloween costume.
As you should.
Yeah. And there's a safety to being in a box in the same way that there's a safety to being inside an M&M costume.
Yeah.
Or a sumo costume.
Or a big denim jacket.
Or a big denim jacket.
I want to wear a box themed costumes at some point soon.
Well, it was funny because I asked Parker the same question, and apparently one year he went as cardboard and he just like wore a bunch of cardboard boxes. But yeah, it's our armor. And favorite Halloween candy?
Snickers.
Fuck yeah.
I think it's an underrated candy.
Hold up. I was really girding my loins for like a gummy candy for you because I know that you love gummies.
Well, I do love gummies, but I don't consider them Halloween candy.
Yeah.
Because they're all year round for me.
The little minis, those little mini Snickers, like the squares.
Yeah.
Oh my, and you could just like, that's popcorn.
And that also is
that's
like
finger food.
That is health. Like there's protein in that.
Oh, that's an energy bar.
That's a protein bar. Yeah.
Snickers, walked so kind bars could run.
Totally.
Mine's Twix.
Love Twix.
Which is similar.
Yeah.
But anything with like a chocolate coating that has crispy underneath.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but there was a hot minute where there were pretzel M&Ms.
Oh yeah.
Do those still exist?
I think so.
In the blue wrapper?
Yeah.
That to me is like, that's Nirvana.
Yeah.
But that's not really quintessential Halloween candy.
It's not.
But Twix would be my choice.
Yeah, Twix is up there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Let's do a quick round of message in a bottle and then we'll wrap this shit up. Okay, message in a bottle is a segment that we do at the end of the podcast where we just send you off with a love note into the ether for something that we are grateful for and wanted to share joy towards.
I love that.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Sure. My message in a bottle goes out to the way I parallel park when no one is watching. Baby, it is smooth.
Yeah.
With a V. I am buttery in those streets. Throw someone in the car, I'm hitting cars. Mm-hmm. I'm hitting curbs.
I'm killing small animals.
I am injuring cars and people. Every single time I have tried to parallel park with someone in the car, I have hit a car. Not a lot, but like I'm kissing fender.
Also, my vibes are atrocious.
Panicked.
Like I'm freaking out. My neck is red.
Yeah. I'm getting
And when
rashes.
I'm alone, I'm like literally singing Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh yeah, NPR's on. My arm is behind the.
Yeah.
I'm whipping it with. I'm whipping
You're
it with
whipping
one
it.
hand. I'm not even looking. I'm just intuitively parking the car like I'm a Tesla. Anyway, as we know, I have to move the car twice a week, and it went so well yesterday that I had to bring it to you all today.
I'm so happy that you had that because it can really like reinvigorate your sense of self-confidence when you parallel park, right?
Oh, I stepped out of that car. I was swinging my keys around my finger. I was throwing it in the air.
Nothing can stop you.
Yeah, I was going like the confidence of a middle school boy throwing a water bottle up in the air. Like that's the confidence that I had post parallel parking.
Yeah, you're like on a skateboard.
I'm winking at passerbys. Like I'm just going full ham.
Yeah, good for you.
Thank you.
I look forward to hearing the next time that you're with someone in parallel parking and how that goes.
Yeah, you'll hear car alarms is what you'll hear.
You'll hear sirens.
Okay, close us out, girl.
Okay, my message in a bottle goes out to, so this has to do with fall. It's what I call it is a roommate symbiosis. I think symbiosis is one of the most beautiful natural things that happens here on this planet.
I agree.
And it happens in nature, but it also happens with each other. And there's this like one specific, well, there's a lot of reasons why my roommate and I I feel like we have a good thing going on. But the one that I wanted to shout out today is that so I love like fall decorations. I love Halloween. I think it's fun. I think it's cute, like festive. But I only like things in theory. I don't actually ever like to do them. And
of course.
I really can't be bothered a lot of the times. Like I have a problem with actually executing and I should deal with that. But my roommate is like, she will go to Five Below by herself with her friend or whatever and pick up just like all the cobwebs, all the caution tape, bring home. We have so many skeletons that the last time when she was going to Five Below, I was like, get whatever you want. Like maybe we probably don't need any skeletons because we have a lot of those in the basement.
Like we have a collection.
But otherwise, like get whatever. And then I come back upstairs like 3 hours later, and on the couch is sitting a life-size skeleton. And I was like, cool. But like now she like did a whole like jack-o'-lantern like carving thing at our apartment with her friends, and so we have all the pumpkins and like they're all on our stoop now. And I'm like, this is perfect because I don't want to do any of this actually, but I do want to.
But I love absorbing
experience
it.
I want to absorb it and I want to be around it, but I want to also like, because also I was sick, I couldn't do the jack-o'-lantern thing. Like,
that's so real. It takes so much effort to do things that are just like kitschy and fun.
And she is like last Christmas, she got like a full-size Christmas tree. And I'm sure she'll do that again because she like is obsessed with all
those
the holidays.
Are like special people. Yeah. My old roommate, who's one of my dearest friends, she loves decorating. Like we would come home and it would be like third grade classroom style. Like we would have like paper spiders like climbing in her living room. But she had seasonal birds that she would swap out. Like in the spring, it would be like a bird with bunny ears. In the winter, it'd be like a bird with a Santa hat.
Oh my God.
The Halloween bird had like a little bat mask. And it was just like, you really like, you are so invested in making this space feel fun and festive.
Yeah.
And because I'm the same way. It's like, I love it when it's there, but I promise you, I'm not putting any of those up. I'm not going to the store. I'm not buying them.
Yeah. Even
like buying candy to pass it out on Halloween. I'm like, whoa.
I don't even do that a lot of times. Yeah. And like, I live on a street where there's like people who trick or treat.
Oh my God, you have a stoop.
Yeah. And I still don't.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to have. And I think that there's other ways, there's things that I add that she doesn't do. So it's like we just balance each other out in these ways.
You've curated the most cozy canvas that she can decorate.
And I love it.
And everyone needs paint and a canvas in the same way that everyone needs a pot and a lid.
Wow.
And you said that.
And I said that.
Or was it
my
like
friend,
your Aunt
my
Diane?
friend said that. No, my friend says that to me whenever I'm sad about being single. Every pot has a lid. Like, okay,
still searching.
I'm one of those mismatched pots in the cabinet that everyone gets annoyed by.
I'm like the fucking lid at Marshall's that lost the pot.
I'm like 50 cents at a thrift store. It's fine.
Oh, but you can always use a pot lid as a Christmas ornament or something else. So,
or you can use like a plate as a lid. Sometimes we need to boil water.
Right. So maybe some pot out there just needs to find its plate.
Yeah, and how about that? So chew on that.
And with that kind of nugget of wisdom, we are right at time.
We are right at time. So thanks for joining us as always.
I hope that you enjoyed spooky floundering.
Have an amazing time. Be safe.
Share your Halloween costumes.
Don't drink and drive.
Please don't do that.
Share your Halloween costumes.
And your favorite candies.
Someone should dress up as us.
Okay. And if you do, please be nice. Please be kind.
One of you dress like you're going to the airport and the other of you dress like
you're going to the pumpkin patch.
You wish that you were Meg Ryan, but you're not.
And call her by her name, Princess Di.
Call her by her name, Princess Di.
All right, school. We love you.
Okay, bye.
And Carey, I love you.
Carey?
I love you too.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.